And we're
What?
live!
Oh, we're live.
The Hangout's fucking live, and I'm back. I've been
About
away.
fucking time.
Hooray!
Oh, my hair looks terrible. Oh well. I've been away for about, I don't know, 3 weeks, something ridiculous. It's like work, but I'm back. So welcome to another Mastertoons podcast hosted by me, Jack.
Hey, work.
Yeah. Does it look better if I look down or if I look into the eyes of the audience? Hello, audience. Watch all our videos.
I'm not sure.
So
Watch RV. Like they hypnotized him or something.
they play the video
Uh.
backwards and it's like subscribe.
Oh.
Gosh. Yeah. So tonight's only gonna be like one quick kind of movie of the week, but it's a big one. And I think it would do much some like catch up news maybe tomorrow, Tuesday, whatever.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, our movie of the week is not really following any theme or anything, but we basically had nothing planned, and we'd all been to the cinema to see the film that's showing at the moment, Avengers 2, Age of
Yeah.
Ultron, or just Avengers
Oh,
Age
I
of
thought you
Ultron.
meant the A battle line.
Yeah.
Seriously,
I
don't watch that movie from what I've seen of it.
There's not really much to say, like in terms of introduction to Avengers, because we usually do
No,
5
like,
words or
do we
less.
even need to like? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
okay. We're just gonna get right into it. I mean, I don't need really say the director because we know it's Josh Whedon. It's it's the
Yeah.
most Marvel film you can get. So
Yeah.
I just the plot very quickly is well, actually, there is too much. Spoilers beware, by the way. We're going to be talking spoilers, so
We're going to be spoiling the fuck out of this. But if you want a non-spoiler review, check out my in-house Reddit page where I did a review by myself. I'll link I'll link it in the comment section if any of you are interested.
Yeah. So if you don't want spoilers, just
Shameless advertising.
yeah, just go to that page.
Then-
So I mean, let's just fuck the plot because my thoughts, just like a quick summary at the start. I'd say this film is, it's in a way kind of like the perfect Avenger film. It ticks every single box because it's got the Avengers coming together. They have a fight. There's good character development. You don't know about like characters. It sets stuff up for future films. It's got the intriguing mid-credit scene. Got loads of like cameos and all that stuff. So in that way, it ticks all the boxes. But the problem is, for me, is it does everything it says on the tin. So I mean,
but
so it's like the first.
there's way too much of it.
Yeah, it's like the first film does everything it says on the tin, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's literally the bare minimum. It's still a really great film, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not an interesting movie at all. It's just like a, hey, Iron Man. This film is like.
It's basically
It's
the first Avengers is kind of like watching it's kind of like watching a fireworks show in a sense. It's a perfect alignment of this massive celebration of just the sheer idea that we actually managed to actually pull this kind of stuff off. Whereas this tries to be more of a complex and more emotionally involving movie. The problem with it is, I think you were about to say this as well. Rumors have been going. It has been going around that this movie was originally supposed to be 3 hours long, and they had to cut it for time, and it really fucking shows.
Yeah, there is just too much going on. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's convoluted because you can follow everything that's going on. You're not like, wait, what's that guy? Oh, a couple of times there is, but like, you don't really. Like, you can understand what's happening.
You don't feel confused.
Yeah, I mean, apart from, like, I'll give you an example. So at the very start of the film, it just, like, bam, all the Avengers are together. And I think everybody in the cinema was like, wait, what the fuck? Because, one, like, there was Tony Stark building the Avengers Tower, but there was no dialogue with him at all with the other Avengers discussing like the future. At the end of the first Avengers, they go
Exactly.
separate ways and they hint at something in the future. And Tony Stark fucking destroyed all his armor, and it's literally like there's 5 minutes of the movie missing at the start to establish them getting together and Tony Stark getting his shit together. Do you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, I know
I feel
exactly
like
what you mean.
it's just like
And
bam.
honestly, in that regard, like, I'll continue, man.
No, go on.
Okay. In that regard, I am really interested to see, like, there. Of course, like, Marvel and Joss Whedon have confirmed that they are going to do an extended cut, which was apparently supposed to be like 3.5 hours long in that regard. So that begs the question: what scenes did they cut out? Because the movie doesn't feel like things have been constantly chopped out and put into place to set up other movies like Amazing Spider-Man 2 or something like that. But it does feel really fucking overwhelming in that regard because you have to take in the plot of like Ultron being created, the relationship between Natasha and Bruce Banner, the relationship establishes a vision, the stuff with Tony, dealing with the fears that stuff with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. You got all of this, but here's the thing: all of that is established in like the first act, not just the first act, like the first like 20 minutes or so. And it feels like there was like a good amount of the movie devoted to that they just seamlessly cut it down out in order to get it down to 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, like the pacing was kind of an issue for me. Like, I still like enjoy, but like the
Same.
first, like you said, like the first kind of act is like loads of shit, and then there's like talking, and then there's a fight scene,
Yeah.
and then there's a lot of talking, and then it goes all the way
Yeah.
to third. I was fine with it, but like it still kind of feel like a kind of start and stop. And in terms like, with the editing, like I can't really see how it would make it flow better and feels. Because I'll give you an example, like the Vision, like his powers weren't really developed. Like he just like, like part of what he is quite a big thing is he can go through objects, and that's just like randomly. He just randomly uses it on like a little drone. And another thing was he fires a laser beam, and he just like randomly does that.
The mind gem that he has implanted on him, which is the reason why he can read people's minds and stuff, I believe. I think that was what I can't remember, basically. I only just saw the movie yesterday or something.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, Nick Fury's back. Wait, does that mean S.H.I.E.L.D.'s back? He's in a helicarrier with all the people.
Which actually brings me to, hands down, my biggest problem with this movie. Okay, I know, like, okay, this is a massive fucking spoiler for everyone, but my biggest problem with the movie happens at the ending, okay? So the ending is established that Tony Stark and the Avengers are trying to save the small chunk of the city from being dropped into the Earth at high altitude to, like, wipe out the entire planet, like the meteor at the beginning of that killed off the dinosaurs or whatever you believe in or something shit like that. But the thing with that is, they established this one bit. There's this one really crucial scene where it's very clear that there's no hope for all these people. They're trying to evacuate the place. But there's one bit where they discover that the only way to stop this thing from destroying the entire Earth is by killing it, destroying it. Tony suggested that they should blow it up. Captain America wants to save everyone. And right then and there, that would have been the fucking perfect setup for Civil War. But no, Nick Fury just comes up in a helicopter carrier and saves everyone. I'm sorry, that is the definition of a fucking cop-out.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
guess
I mean?
It didn't want to be too dark with, like, killing everybody.
I'm sorry, I'm getting really fucking sick of seeing shit like that. Like, this is why I loved Man of Steel and Noah so much, because they showed, like, the death. They showed destruction with, like, no fucking soft punches or anything. No, they show you blatantly that people are fucking dying, and they don't like establish like everyone just escaped or anything, or they're all gonna be fine. No, they are fucking dead. I'm sorry. When you have a situation with that kind of stuff, you do not just have a helicarrier just show the fuck out of nowhere in order to save everyone. Fuck you, Joss Whedon. Fuck you.
It's interesting you say, because like when I was thinking of Civil War, it does feel like there was some setup there, but for me, like the Batman v Superman, as stupid as the title is, like there does feel like there's going to be a stronger motive for conflict between the two, because like Superman was quite
exactly
like he did the best he could, but he was quite irresponsible with his destruction, not to mention his godlike state as well. I mean, this like the conflict seemed a bit more like kind of subtle and not like you don't quite see how they. You can kind of gauge how they might like fight, but it's like kind of so you've already gone through this thing where Tony's created this thing, this sentinel to look after the world,
yeah.
which is like. So he's just gonna rehash that moral for the next movie. It's like okay. So one thing Josh Whedon did say about the movies, this does actually quite explain a few things. So he said, I have to make my movie assuming that people will only see the first one, or possibly not even seen the first one. I can't assume that everyone would see Thor: The Dark World or Captain America, Winter Soldier, Iron Man 3, any of the in-between movies. I have to go from one movie to the next, and true to what's happening, not be slavish with it. So he's basically saying, like, there's all this stuff in between, and then if you haven't seen them, you have to use your imagination. But I think at this point, Marvel might be getting a bit too. Do you know? It's like it's building a house of cards.
Yeah.
That's gonna collapse in on itself. Like there's this bad balance that's in Age of Ultron between what we've seen before and trying to make it its own movie, and that's one of the reasons why Edgar Wright left Ant-Man, because Marvel wanted him to put stuff in that relates to other movies, and he wants to make it his own movie. And it is hard. It's very hard to deal with it. So that's why I admire Marvel so much. Because at the start it was very successful, but now there's more complicated shit happening.
Yeah, like you have like the Infinity Stones that were established in For the four movies and Guardians of the Galaxy. You have the collapsing of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Winter Soldier. You have like the conflict Tony went through in Iron Man 3. And now you have this movie where they had to set up not just Civil War for the next movie, but they had to establish like Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and like all these other movies. So
Thor Ragnarok.
In that regard, and for Ragnarok,
to me that was like very clear.
This is something I was going to bring up. Yeah, but this is something interesting I want to bring up to you guys. I'm not sure if you will agree with me, but was I the only one who thought that it would be better if like this and like the actual cut, the original 3-hour cut, were instead two different, like two Avengers, like a part 1 and part 2, as opposed to like having it cut all up like this?
I don't think it warrants to be a 2-part movie.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. I mean, we're bashing this film quite a lot. I really enjoyed it. I think it is a very good film.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's hard to give like a lot of the positives, because the positives are stuff you would expect. I mean, of course the action is fucking awesome. Of course, like the acting is all great from everyone, and of course our chemistry is amazing together, and it's amazing that we get to see all these characters on screen kicking ass. But really, like a lot of the negatives of the film, they don't ruin your enjoyment of it, but when you're trying to be critical about it, it really does bring it down. Like I still really like the movie, but these are just problems I cannot simply overlook in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Whedon did say like he's not going to do the next Avengers movie because this one was just like it took so much out of him. And at first I thought he was being like a bit of a pussy, but now I was like, yeah, shit, he had like you could tell like he's trying to make his own movie, but at the same time like the producers and executives were like, you need to put this in and this and this in, and he did a fucking good job. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like Marvel are building a house of cards, and you can see it starting to wobble. I think
Exactly.
I mean, personally, I think they should just go like fucking balls in. And it's like, if you haven't seen the movie before and you're slightly lost, too fucking bad. You should have watched them. You know.
Well, yeah, it's your fucking fault that you didn't pay attention to any of the other movies. Hell, I've seen all the other movies. Like,
I think
you don't
I think
necessarily
most people
like.
have, really.
Exactly. Like, who hasn't seen Avengers? Who hasn't seen Iron Man 3? Who hasn't seen fucking Winter Soldier? Did you see the amount of money that movie made? Same with Guardians. Sweet Jesus.
Yeah.
Either you make the movie its own thing, or you establish a continuity and stick with it. Don't try to go in the middle, otherwise you end up crossing a very, very thin line with that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, imagine, like, you know, like, because it does feel like that. I mean, they are kind of their own films, but at the same time, like, to me, it does feel like kind of like a series of films that are all connected. Like the same way as like the Harry Potter movies are. Like, if you're a fucking jackass and you decide, oh, I'm gonna watch Harry Potter for the first time. Oh, Deathly Hallows Part 2's in the cinema. I'll go see that. That'll be my first Harry Potter film. You're a fucking idiot. Like, and if you're like, oh, who's that guy? Who's that guy? Well,
The fucking
who's
movie
the
has
old guy?
Part 2 in the fucking title.
Yeah, it's like, what do you expect? Like, so I mean, to me, like, I think Marvel should like punish those people more. Like, and besides, I'm sure that they'll catch up anyway. I mean, like, people aren't dumb. Like, if they're lost in a
Kids are
movie,
dumb,
they're
but
fucking
people
hell,
aren't.
but you could probably figure it out. You know, the Winter Soldier, for example. Like, if you hadn't seen the first Captain America, fine, you can catch
You
up.
don't really have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
like, the Winter Soldier stands up on its own as, like, its own, like, Captain America movie. There's no real connection between the two. I'd probably say the same for, like, Dark World and, I'd probably say the same for Iron Man, like, any of the Iron Mans in that regard, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, not necessarily Iron Man 3, because I feel like you would have to watch Avengers in order to get, like, a good amount of the conflict in that movie. But I still think
and Iron Man 3 really established the kicker of this movie's conflict, which was Tony's fear. So in that regard, Iron Man, you need to get in. You really need to stay on date with these films, or else you're gonna be fucking lost.
exactly.
Yeah. So I think we've bashed the movie enough. I think let's talk about some positives. Like George said some in passing, but I think the thing I really like Ultron. Ultron is a fucking great villain. Yeah.
Same.
Seriously, James Spader was fucking born to play this role.
Yeah, he's more human than I thought he would be, but it just works. It's so great.
Yeah.
I
especially like how like self-aware he was. Like he wasn't like a typical bad guy in that regard, like a typical robot bad guy you would see in something like 2001 iRobot and stuff like that. He had like the kind of same kind of wit you would expect from a Marvel villain like this. He wasn't like as he's not like a outstanding villain or something, but I still like he's a really great villain in that regard. But I don't know. You go on, Jack, or something.
I mean, my only real problem with it, well, two problems with him was one, I'm not a fan of his design. Like, I think his face is fine, but like, I think there needs to be a more simple texture for his body. It looks kind of like weird. Do you know what I mean? And the second thing is he gets defeated far too easily. Like,
yeah, definitely.
The actual final fight was like, you know, him and his like cronies and the Avengers on this side, and they go in. Yeah. Literally, what happens is 3 laser beams, and he's dead. And he looked barely different in his vibranium armor. Like, I could barely tell the difference between that and.
Well, you could kind of tell a difference, like with the patterns on the armor. Like if you paid close attention, you could see like a small, I want to say like markings or something. They look like the same
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of initials you would see on like Thor's hammer, but it's like a very minor detail or something.
yeah. Um, Also, it didn't really make much sense that Jarvis could survive Ultron. Do you know what I mean? It's like a fucking my
Yeah.
Mac being beaten in processing by a fucking Atari from the 80s. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
No, no, that would be awesome if that did happen.
Yeah. What else? Like, there always, I'm quite a nitpicky sort of person. There's always like one little thing that I always be like, I didn't like the fact that the twins were Russian. Like, I thought their accents were
Yeah, same. Like,
very
yeah,
distracting.
seriously. Yeah, it was really unexpected, and it's really kind of awkward as well, because, like, you look at the actors, and they are clearly not fucking Russian. And when
Yeah,
they speak with the Russian accents, and they're trying to deliver this dialogue, and while their performances are okay, the the accents were definitely really distracting. I get that it was kind of the point that they're twins. They grew up in this war-bitten area. I get that, but still, you don't have to make it like that fucking obnoxious. Is the thing.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they should have got Russian actors in really, rather than this
Yeah.
stupid accent that I think most people could do. You know.
Ironically, that's better than the accents they actually used in the movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's pretty dumb. Yeah, the fight scenes were really great.
Yeah.
Obviously, the action
oh
was
yeah,
great.
definitely.
Um, I like the stuff with Hawkeye, surprisingly.
Yeah. Same.
Yes, that was actually my favorite part of the movie. Believe it or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I
They.
was actually really surprised by how well his character was expanded here, and I really liked the farm segment of the second act, I believe, because it actually not only allowed me to the film to like slow the fuck down for a few minutes and actually let the audience breathe take a breather, but it actually really expanded on both his character and like a good amount of the other characters as well, which I found really interesting.
Yeah. What else did I like? I forgot something I was gonna say. I don't know. Um, yeah, I liked all the interplay. I like the conflict of characters and all. Yeah, obviously, Hulk versus Iron Man was awesome. Even though again,
Seriously.
it's pretty dumb that the Hulk got knocked out.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I kind of attribute that to the magic, but
Yeah.
yeah. And why didn't they call it the Hulkbuster armor? I mean, Veronica's a funny name, but they could have called it the Hulkbuster armor as well.
Yeah, definitely.
One reason. Suitcase 14. That's why. That is the original name of the suitcase that the Hulkbuster was in the comics. Also, Veronica, it's another reference to Betty Ross. Mhm.
Yeah. So what else did you guys like about it then?
Yeah,
Uh,
Pro, you go first,
oh, go
dude.
on, man. Okay.
I like the expansion to Hawkeye. Hawkeye, I really like that they gave but Clint Barton a new role that we have never seen before because again I have mentioned this a lot of times but it's true the Hawkeye in the comics has never been a father of some sort. Yeah, he they we have been known that he had a family in the Ultimate Universe, but he has never we have never seen him active with his kids and wife. This was a very welcome surprise. Also, I like the Hawk and Black Widow relationship because it showed a lot of the dark elements of the film. I do I the both sharing the a lot in common because both of them have a lot of dark and messed up stories, and neither of them can have a family. I also like
Exactly.
Tony Psyche in this film because it really shows that Tony is too afraid because of the events of the Avengers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna throw this out right now. If any of you, and if any of you viewers or listeners in that regard, know of Filmmaster Adam, please send link this bit right here because this is a full open attack to him. Uh, you're a fucking dumbass. Okay, did you just
Wait,
fucking forget that? Okay, for those of you who don't
who
know,
are you talking
Filmmaster
about?
Adam, he's a fucking shit reviewer who did a review of this movie. He claimed that one of the biggest problems with the movie is that the creation of Ultron, and the reason why Tony did it, was that it was out of character for Tony. Did he just fucking forget that Scarlet Witch manipulated his fear, and that's why he created the fucking thing? Are you... Ugh! Like, I know
Yeah.
it's a small detail. It's like a 5-second shot, but still, it was in the movie. It was fucking explained, you fucking dipshit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's even a line about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, it kind of makes sense anyway. Like Tony's always trying to it did establish that him being Iron Man, like he's getting a bit old and tired for it. But he wants to still help
Yeah.
people with his technology, but he doesn't trust humans. So it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like Erod said, guy that me and George follow. Tony might be the smartest guy in the Marvel universe, but he's a terrible decision maker. Mhm.
Yeah,
Exactly. He's still just because he can build like these robots and design this shit doesn't mean he's that smart of a human being. Cause he's just that, a fucking human being. Idiot.
Yeah.
yeah.
And another thing that you guys like.
Uh,
It's to be
I
honest,
really like the flashback scene.
yeah. Sorry, go on.
I mean, I really like that. I liked how I like the dynamic that they established. Like, I feel like that scene was initially longer, possibly because there's a lot of jump cuts and stuff like that. But I feel like it was trying to be mysterious or something like that. It's hard to tell, but it was really cool. Like they're diving a bit more into Black Widow's past and a bit into what's going to happen with Thor and what he's dealing with and what's going on with Captain America and the turmoil he feels. I feel like it was a really cool scene. I feel like it was probably one of the many highlights of the movie for me.
That is definitely what was missing from the first movie is their backstory.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
that's why one of the reasons that's why I think it's just so simple is that they've mentioned stuff, but you could say
Yeah.
fucking anything. When I was 10, my dad was stabbed by muggers, and then I became super muscle. You literally could say I had a
Uh,
wife and she drowned, and now I hunt the ocean for criminals. I am Aquaman. You can say
I'm,
any old shit, really.
uh,
uh,
don't remind me that I
pretty
have to
much.
talk. Don't remind me I have to talk about an origin story tomorrow.
What?
Ugh.
For Aquaman?
Nah, I'll reveal that tomorrow night. Gio knows it, and I'm gonna tell you this, motherfucker. Don't tell him.
Know what?
Whatever. I'll tell you. You'll find out tomorrow.
All right. Okay then.
um, yeah, the whole thing is just really enjoyable. Yeah, like I said, it's what it says on the tin. It's everything you would expect, but
Exactly.
more, and not necessarily in the good way.
Yeah. It's kind of like going what to me watching this movie was really overwhelming, and at a point I felt kind of after I left I kind of felt exhausted, but at the same time I was insanely satisfied with what I got. Sure, would I have liked to see a couple of elements done better? Yeah. Would I have liked to see more of Scarlet Witch and Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Andy Serkis's character? Fuck yes. But what I got, while slightly disappointing, is still a pretty damn good film, and I'm sick of people bitching about this movie just because it wasn't the second coming of Christ, what they expected. Spoiled fucking
Yeah.
brats.
Yeah, what I still got in my eyes. I still got what I came for. For what I do agree, some of the details are still too hard to ignore. I still think this is a great film. I still consider it my favorite film of 2015.
Um, I can't really think of movies 2015. It's probably not my favorite one.
Yeah, yeah. I know you. I know the best one out of before the Avengers was Kingsman, and I know one of us didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's not that I hated it or anything. I just didn't find it like that enjoyable as I wanted it to be. Overall, it wasn't like god awful or anything. I'll gladly take it over most of the shit I've seen recently, but I don't know.
Um,
Oh,
the other thing I really liked was oh, shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. What was it? I liked. Come on, dummy. Oh yeah, that was it. Because like it was kind of building up. Like, okay, why am I caring about Hawkeye all of a sudden? Are they gonna kill him off? And then I
Yeah.
remember that he had signed on for the next Captain America film, and I think the Avengers: Infinity Wars. But I thought that might be like a red herring. And then they killed Quicksilver. It's like, wow, what a surprise!
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Same. Until someone spoiled it for me. Fuck!
avoid, dude. Avoid comments from now on. Trust me, you're gonna do yourself a favor.
I've been trying to, man. I've been fucking trying to.
Who spoiled it for you? Was it the assembled guys?
It was some random asshole on a comicbook.com,
Okay.
comicbook.com's Facebook page. Ugh. I don't even know why I fucking check the comment section to those fucking articles anyway.
um, I don't think there's really much. I mean, there's just like so much in it. Like, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah. Should we just wrap up then? I can't really think of what else to say.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I'm the most positive one, so I'll do it. I really recommend it. Just keep your thoughts clean up, and just expect what you expect from a Marvel film. I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
Alright
George.
then. Overall, it was exactly what I wanted out of a movie like this. I mean, again, I wanted to see some stuff done better, but overall, what I got, I can't really complain about that much. I mean, again, stuff could have been done better. I hate the fucking ending, but I can't really complain about a movie that, well, as a whole, really entertained me and left me completely satisfied with what I got. I haven't seen many movies this year. I plan to as well as soon as they come to digital on or on pirating sites, which I am not ashamed to admit I do. But overall, definitely check it out. But just don't go into it expecting like the second Common Crisis like a lot of people did. I mean, I don't like it as much as I did the first one, or even some of the other Marvel films, or even some of my other favorite comic book movies. But overall, it's definitely worth checking out, and it's way more worth your time than half of the shit that's came out in the past couple of months.
Yeah. I'd say like everything those guys said. So it's a very enjoyable movie. I mean, I've already seen it like 3 times, but there's everything that says on the tin, but there's just like a bit too much going on. It just set up future films really nicely. Um,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and don't stay after the credits. I don't mean the mid-credit point. I mean like, after the
Yeah.
credits. There's fucking nothing. I didn't do that. Other
Exactly.
idiots did. And if you can see it in something called Dolby Atmos, definitely do that. So I mean, I think I accidentally saw Interstellar in Dolby Atmos, and I didn't like realize. And then I went on
Oh
a field.
wow.
I went on a field trip for my uni course to the Dolby Atmos studio, and it was really really
Oh,
cool.
cool.
So what it is, so when you're in the cinema, hold on a minute, you've basically got find an example. Well. So you basically got the screen itself, which has
Yeah.
Speakers behind there. You've got
Yeah.
about two speakers on each side, and then you might have a
Yeah.
speaker at the very back, right? So what Dolby Atmos is, it adds extra speakers here, and at the front, but it also adds speakers on the ceiling. So
Wow.
it's basically literally surround sound. So like stuff like when you hear a plane coming, like do this on the screen, like you kind of hear it go like wah, like that, and it just
That's
adds
fascinating.
extra great dimension. I'm pretty sure Age of Ultron does have Dolby Atmos. So if you do get to see a Dolby Atmos, you're already spending loads of money in cinema. But definitely do that.
Yeah, definitely.
You wouldn't want to go back after Dolby Atmos.
True. I wouldn't know if I actually got to go to one of those things.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's all we've got time for. So we'll see you soon. Thanks very much for watching. I've been your host, Jack.
All right then.
George and Proto, thank you very much, boys.
Yeah.
You're welcome, man. Glad to have you back, by the way.
Yay.
Yay.
I just hope David is back tomorrow because I want to talk to the British bastard.
Same.
Alright. See you guys later then.
See ya.
Cheerio!
Cheerio. Cheerio.
Stop walking.